Hi, this is Eleanor again with Merck Resource as we are going to do our October gratitude conversation. And I am so fortunate to have Dr. Tiffany Gathers with me. And I'm going to let uh, Dr. Gathers tell you a little bit about herself. And then we're going to talk about um, gratitude, what it means to her, how she uses it in her life. Dr. Gathers, share a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me, for asking me to join in on this conversation. I really do appreciate it. So, I am a wife, a mother, a daughter, a lover of women's empowerment. I am the co-founder and president of a nonprofit, the Togethers Foundation, and I also work with women to help them start their nonprofit businesses. So that's who I am and what I do.
All righty. Um, that is really wonderful. I have been a recipient of your knowledge and getting started and getting my non-profit official Merck
Mhm.
Resource, making it official with the government and the state of Illinois
Yes.
and everything.
Mhm.
So tell me about gratitude and how it works with you, how it motivates you, how it whatever you want to share a little bit about gratitude.
Well, gratitude for me, and I would say this gratitude is a gift I believe that everybody has, but I don't believe that everybody practices it. And it's something that's just, it's a feeling, obviously, it's a feeling, and it's nothing deep. It goes as simple as, thank you for this food, for saying your grace. It goes as simple as that, to just appreciating the little big things in life. And I think you have to be very, and for me, and this was learned, have to be very intentional about being grateful. You have to cultivate that, actually, because it's hard when you're going through a season, when you are in a place where you think that things aren't going the way you want it to be or desire to be. It's hard to see the good things out of that, in that. So I just try my best to just practice being grateful in everything I do. It's a scripture in the Bible, and I don't know what book it belongs to, and I don't know what verse is attached to it. But I love that it says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for the will of God in Jesus Christ for you." In the will of Jesus Christ for you. That's my favorite scripture, because I have to think back on that, because when I don't think things are going the way that I want it to be, I have to just think about, okay, Tiffany, be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for how far you have gotten. Just be thankful for this very moment. Be thankful that you woke up this morning. Be thankful that God gave you the brain, the intellect to
Yes,
even be grateful. So
yes,
something as simple as that.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, that is what I consider practicing gratitude when
Yes.
we talk about
Yes.
practicing gratitude in every way. And in this practice of gratitude, I know you've had, a long journey through school and to your doctorate program and your,
Mhm.
raising a family. How do you even see? And I know you shared some things about being always grateful even in rough times or whatever,
Mhm.
but how do you, in reflection, how do you see gratitude in sustaining you or even moving you to another level?
Um, how how I see it is, just something that I think at this point is rooted in me. That's what I think in this point.
Hmm.
Now, it has not always been there. It hasn't always been there. And sometimes I believe I'm grateful, but not even knowing that
Ah,
that I'm grateful. And I don't even really know how to explain that piece of it. But just and I'll give you an example, a recent example. We're in the middle of a pandemic, okay? And so one of my desires has always been was to leave Chicago. I mean, that was my dream ever since I was a little girl. And I've had a couple opportunities to do it, but I was afraid to do it
mm,
because at the time it was just me and Brittany, and then I would allow people to tell me, "Oh, you're gonna be by yourself with her. You're not gonna have anybody to help you, and whatever." But I tell you this: if this pandemic did not take place, I probably would still be sitting in Chicago, Illinois, because what happened was I believe that the some of the fear that I felt as if I was running out of time surfaced.
okay.
And I thought, you know what? You have not done this yet. You have not, you said you wanted to move, you haven't moved. You said you want to do this, you didn't do that. And when my husband brought that to me about moving to Texas, I was hesitant at first because I was afraid. But then I thought about it and I said, oh, why not? And here we are. But that just brings me to the fact of being grateful in the season of
Yes.
this pandemic.
Yes.
You know?
That is such a wonderful example because one of the things we started this conversation as a result of the pandemic, and you just showed us that no matter what the situation is, there's still good at the core of whatever is happening if you
Absolutely.
believe it, and if you can see how these things happen to you. And I'm glad you talked about having things you want to do, but
Mhm.
sometimes they're still on the shelf
Yes.
because I think I got a whole library
Me
of things
too.
that I
Me
need to
too.
do and want to get started in doing. And in your practicing of gratitude and how it has moved you, and with your husband and your family, do you, how do you share that, integrate that, in a relationship? Um, I know, your husband is probably more easy because he's probably right on the same page as you, but how do you, communicate? I know we don't go around like gratitude, 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 but you said earlier it's a way of life or living. But
Mhm.
how do you use that, with as a couple and a family?
I pray. Pray. We talk a lot, just communicate about the little things. We all in the story that I just told, we literally talk about that all the time. About, you know what? I don't even know if we would be here if that wasn't the case. And just, we always talk about just living, not being afraid to live. And then if you are afraid to do some things, do it anyway.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
those are our conversations a lot of the time.
Yes. There was a song, I can't even remember the name of the song, but a part in there is like, do it anyway.
Do it
And I
anyway.
think
Yes.
any takeaway from this conversation is do it anyway.
Yes.
So as we, like I said before, we have just a short conversation here,
Mhm.
but a couple of things, two or three things that you would want anyone seeing this Zoom conversation to take away from here or to use or practice.
Okay. Fear not. Fear
Fear
not.
not.
Practice, and like you said, gratitude is a practice. Practice it daily. How do you practice? Because it does not come natural to a lot of people. It's the very simple things. Thank you for thanking people for what they have done for you, or thanking, giving yourself grace. Thanking yourself, for giving yourself grace, because sometimes we need that. Writing down things, if it doesn't come natural, if you believe that you're in a season of funk or something like that, just journaling. Journaling is a good practice of letting you, helping you to see the things that you should be grateful for. That's a very good practice. So that's what I would say, if nothing else. And that's a way of actually being intentional about it, just writing down those things. Now, that's nothing that comes natural to a lot of people, but if you just think about, just pause, be mindful, and just think about, even if you're in a rut, just think about the good that's in there, because there's a good in everything, in every season. Something good is going to come out of it.
Absolutely. And one thing else before we go, you just said it. How would you, like the self talk, you just mentioned self and then you move. But in terms of embracing, I said, what are the three steps? But embracing yourself, do you have any comments on how you do that and would do that?
I tell people, I literally, I talk to myself every day. I have post-it notes out on my computer. It says how. When I think I can't do something, I look at my post-it note that says how, because it changed my perception to thinking, okay, how are you going to get it done? You can get it done. Just how are you going to get it done? I have on my computer post-it note, yes, I can. Yes, I can. When I'm telling myself that there's no way I can get this done, that there's no way this is going to happen, I look at this and it reminds me, yes, I can. So I'm always talking to myself. I have grown to be big on affirmations, because I was not a person of affirmations before. I teach my youngest daughter. It's something I missed the mark on my oldest daughter. So I got me a second chance. So I teach my youngest daughter affirmations. We say those every single day.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
that right there, that helps me a lot. Yeah, that
Okay.
helps me a lot. Just talking to myself.
Oh, wonderful. I'm a talking to myself, and sometimes I get to talking to myself. Back when I was out and the pandemic wasn't here,
Uh-huh.
sometimes something would be on my mind. I would
Mhm.
be talking about it. I'm passing somebody in the store, and they said, "Beg your pardon?" And I realized I didn't talk beyond my own head. But
Mhm.
as we close, I am going to take that idea of the sticky notes,
Mhm.
on my computer, on my refrigerator,
Yes.
and remind myself daily. I'm going to have what I'm going to call gratitude sticky notes
Yes.
that
Yes. I love
put
that.
around. And sometimes, just what you were saying about how, yes, I can. You're sitting there trying to do something. Boy, isn't that powerful just to look up and say, yes, you can, or how, then it
Mhm.
triggers something, for you to do.
Mhm.
And that's the same thing with gratitude.
Yeah.
The more you think about just the little things, I do my gratitude with nature, just the fact that, looking at the sky, looking at the sun, or
Mhm.
at night at the moon, or seeing the trees swaying in the wind, all of that's gratitude.
Mhm.
And I
Yes.
find when you use that kind of gratitude, it changes something inside of you, your perspective, and whatever was burdening you down. Once you start that practice or just thinking, it makes a big difference.
That is
And
so true.
thank
Yeah, it is.
and that's what I would like for people in
Mhm.
these conversations, just like eavesdrop on the conversations we're having here.
Mhm.
And Dr. Tiffany Gathers of the Two Gathers Foundation.
Yes.
Are you still Illinois and Texas now with your foundation, or are you still here?
Yes, we're both in Illinois and in Texas.
Okay, and before we go, just share a little bit about your foundation. And now I ask you to share a little bit, but
Mhm.
before I start, I'm going to take it over and start talking.
Okay.
I have never been so impressed with an organization. You started an organization to serve first time college students.
Mhm.
And within, what was it, a full year before you had um, a banquet actually giving students some worthwhile scholarships?
Yeah. Yeah.
Starting the next year, follow up. You had new students and follow up students. I mean, most people just can't do that in such a short time. And that
Mhm.
sounds like a thing where you made up your mind and you moved on it. So if you just
Yeah.
want to close with something that you're doing with your foundation and have what you have been doing with students.
Thank you. Yeah, so the Togethers Foundation, we started that in January of 2018. That's when it was organized. And our mission is to empower first generation students to attain a college degree. And we give them resources, just different tools and resources and opportunities to help them excel. And we started with our scholarship program. So that's something that we that's the foundation of what we do,
Hmm.
give away scholarships to college bound scholars and continuing scholars. And like you said, the first year we gave away $2,000. The second year we gave away $21,000, and this year we gave away $6,000. And I'm so proud of that $6,000 because we kept moving in the
Yes.
midst of this season,
Yes.
so we kept going forward. And so now we're about to start a mentorship program. We're actually in the process of recruiting mentors and have applications open for mentees. And you talked about that. Yes, 2018 we started, but 2016 is when I really made up my mind that this is what I wanted to do, as far as starting the foundation. But between 2016 and 2018, um, some things was happening in terms of me again when I the self doubt seeping in, telling myself, You've got to be crazy if you think this is going to happen. If you think you can pull this off." And when we finally got it, I finally got it to tell myself, "You can do this." We did
Yeah.
it.
And to walk away from the University of Illinois Chicago Circle is a big move to leave the comfort of a 9 to 5 and decide I'm on my own here. I'm going to take
Yeah,
care of this.
that was the scariest of it all. Like I knew I could do it. I believed I could do it, but it was uncomfortable.
Yes, but you did it
But
anyway.
I did it anyway.
She did it anyway, people. So thank you so much, Dr. Gathers,
Thank
and thank
you.
you all for listening in on our our October gratitude session, and look for November as we talk about it. And one thing I want everybody to do is vote. Get out and vote.
Yes.
Take a friend to vote. Check with your local election authority if you're not sure where to go, how to do, and what to do, because our very lives depend on it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Gathers, and
Thank
have a
you.
great day.
You